In 579, St. Augustine arrived in England to convert the Anglo-Saxons to Christianity. With each description of this, Queen Bertha has always been mentioned, so she has gone down in legend as the Christian Queen of Kent. She influenced her husband, who was King of Kent, to convert from paganism, Anglo-Saxonism, to Christianity. So, who was she? Today we're going to find out. And here she is. Rather magnificent statue, I must say. It looked impressive online, but when you're actually standing next to it, she looks amazing. Queen Bertha of Kent is one of history's enigmas. There are a few accounts of the 6th century, and like most women of the period, we hear of her primarily in connection with her male family members. However, there are a few things that we can work out. She seems to have been born in the early 560s, a Frankish princess, the daughter of Cheribert I, the King of Paris. Bertha brought with her a Christian bishop named Leohard with her to Kent as her confessor, and they used the Church of St. Martin's here in Canterbury, which has existed since Roman times. Now this church, when we see it, was taken over by St. Augustine and his companions as their base of operations. There is a walk called the Queen Bertha Walk in Canterbury, and this is part of it. Now this is the statue of Queen Bertha in St. Martin's Church that I mentioned. It's quite a beautiful statue actually. I really like it, and I love the touch of flowers too. It is said that she may have been buried under the steps at the entrance. So we have come to the end of finding out about Queen Bertha. This is St. Augustine's Abbey. Queen Bertha did come to this abbey. It's now in ruins, but yeah, I'm going to show you a few pictures of around it. We have now come to the end of the tour to find out a bit about Queen Bertha. I hope you really enjoyed it. I realised while I was editing that video that I didn't really put an ending to it, and I just wanted to just talk about what I'd seen just a little bit longer. I thoroughly enjoyed investigating and exploring and finding out a bit more about Bertha, and I was really happy actually to have met her and learnt her story. Now, St. Martin's Church, the church that I visited, I realised I did not spend as much time in the church as I'd had wanted to. I do have a separate video on just the church itself coming, but within the confines of the church with regards to Bertha, I didn't really spend much time in there. I don't think I really got over the importance that this church played back in the day. It dates back to Roman times, and Bertha, for sure, definitely prayed in there. Now, St. Augustine, that the abbey was named after, definitely used this church as headquarters before building of the abbey, and indeed before building of the cathedral itself. which became the seat of Christianity. Yes, the abbey is in ruins, and we really have to engage our imagination to try and figure out what it looked like. Yeah, okay, we had the plans and we had perhaps pictures of what it did look like, but when you're walking around, you really have to try and step out of the moment and think, wow, this must have been magnificent. And yes, the cathedral too, but we have to realise that this little church is the first church founded in England that is still in continuous use. And without Bertha herself, modern day Canterbury may not be what it is today. And today it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I think she left a quiet but indelible mark on Canterbury. There is still some things visible today within the city walls, the Queen Gate, and I don't think I managed to see this unless I walked through it or passed it and didn't realise the significance of it. Is named so because she went through it when she entered Canterbury on her way to worship in St Martin's Church. Now, sadly, apparently, she did not leave anything in writing. As you know, I do love my history and my Tudors, and, you know, celebrate the fact that Elizabeth I was one of the best queens or amazing queens, you know. When you're talking about these amazing people, I really think Bertha needs to be within that conversation. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like what you saw, please do come back for more, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.